So Donald Trump and the White House were tweeting this out today. I have a country to run, exclamation point. President Donald J. Trump, American flag, right? And we're capitalizing country here. And so you're like, okay, so what are we talking about with the country, right? As you have a country to run. You go down and you look at his actual tweet thing, and it says shutdown embarrassment. And he starts talking about Epstein hoax. Again, DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents. And then he's going to blame it on the Democrats, etc. And the thing that's crazy about this stuff is, if this wasn't like a big deal, why do you keep talking about it all the time? And guys, I talk to you mostly about the market, business, financial news, this kind of stuff. But you can't ignore it when it's like literally all over the White House and Trump's social media. They're talking about Epstein. And then you realize, and this is from the Wall Street Journal, they were running an article today. They went through, it's like a whole bunch of Epstein emails, 2,300 messages, and then 1,670 messages are mentioning Trump out of all of these 2,324 email threads. So like a large portion of this is about Trump. and I had heard his name was in these things like before. And I guess Bondi saw this like, oh my God, I'm definitely not releasing this stuff. But when you actually see, and this is sort of what's been analyzed by, say, the Wall Street Journal, you realize, wow, Trump is really in this a lot. And that's why he can't stop talking about it. Fox News can't ignore it because and this is like a different tweet than the one I just showed you. So like I said, this is more than one here. Breaking Trump DOJ to investigate Epstein ties to Democrats' banks. Okay. So before, Trump's calling this a hoax, but now he wants to investigate it. Seriously. And then he's got Pam Bondi here, who's like, okay, I guess I'll do that then. Thank you, Mr. President. SDNY, so that'd be the Southern District of New York, U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton, is one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country, and I've asked him to take the lead. As with all matters, the department will pursue this with urgency and integrity to deliver answers to the American people. And a lot of this is a combination of clown show, slow walking, and misdirection. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. I'll just say this. I think Pam Bondi is probably not popular in many, many circles right now. And I think she's just playing for an audience of one, which I'll just be frank with you, Pam. If you're just only trying to please Trump, Trump has a history of effectively backstabbing anyone that gets close to him. So I'd be real careful with that. And then when you look at Fox News, because they have to figure out some way to spin this stuff, which is, it's basically all negative. There's no way to really paint this positively. And so then they're going to say that we all have Trump derangement syndrome. For real. It's on Fox News. So they bring this dude on who's like going to talk about all the symptoms you may have from Trump derangement syndrome. For real. Look at this.
First of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated. They're hyper fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
The defining pathology of our time. It's and I just want to be frank with you guys. Okay, so just in a logical way. Okay, so let's play this out. So if, let's say I see Trump's picture and I have all of these psychological problems or whatever. Let's just play this out. But the thing is, and just the reality, if I am worried about my food security, or I'm worried about ICE arresting family members or neighbors or myself, I would imagine that would cause people trauma. I'm not just making random stuff up. So the way they try to paint this out is like, from Fox News point of view, is like, well, Trump's such a kind and caring person, and how could anyone hate this dear leader? And it's weird. Like and when they're going with this defense, that they're in trouble.
People come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, in Trump, is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons. And
well, I'll tell you guys this. This is everything's weird with these people. This is Trump here, and just a genuine question. This is a genuine question. It's for those of you who love the Bible and you go to church every Sunday, these kind of things. Do you think Trump also loves the Bible and goes to church every Sunday? This is Trump talking about the Bible. You can listen.
The Bible tells us that one of the measures of any society is how it cares for vulnerable children and orphans. So important, and it's so big in the Bible. So as we make America great again, we are going to protect American children in foster care, and we're going to ensure that they will never, ever be forgotten. These children will never be forgotten, and they're going to grow up to be unbelievable, strong, smart, wealthy, productive citizens.
And so the reason why I'm showing you this is because for any just reasonable person, in my opinion, I look at this and I can tell he's just reading whatever's in front of him. Like his handlers will say, "Hey, you have to go out and tell everyone that you love the Bible," but it's like really clear. He's just reading something, isn't it obvious? And so these are the kind of stuff to where if I say something like this, like to me, it's obvious it's not really Trump talking, because you'll know when Trump talks opposed to when you just read something. I think it's obvious. But then their only defense is, well, you just have Trump derangement symptoms. Okay, I'm like literally I'm just looking at it. Or when Trump tweets out nonstop about the Epstein stuff and they say, "Oh, we just have Trump derangement syndrome," I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, like literally that's what Trump's talking about. So that's why for any of these types of conversations, I just tell you guys the truth and tell you the facts. I mean, you can see it factually what is going on here. And then this is also the White House today. I know, and it's like literally a head scratcher. This is what they're tweeting out. And what they're referring to, if you look down here, they're like talking about on Fox News. This is my hometown of Portland, Oregon, where I guess we're making fun of Trump doing the 1980s style aerobics. So, hey, if you want to go back to that kind of 80s Reagan era, we're doing it in Portland, and you guys are welcome to join along. This really is a clown show, guys. And the way Fox says it, he says it, they call it the retro resistance. Protesters in neon, right? Leotards hold an 80s theme aerobics outside an ICE detention center in Portland, Oregon. That's what we're doing in Portland today, I guess. This is also what's going on is if you want to go through all the emails, you can. I personally think probably what's going to come out is that Trump's not a good person, which we already know. It's not really that complicated to figure out, but evidently for some people it is. This one just says, "I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body." That's Epstein's opinion of Trump, I guess. And then you have something like this where they tried to do a unanimous vote in the House. Have a listen to this.
I want to say this tonight, and I think this is a shame to a lot of the Hill Press Corps. I'm not going to name any of you by name, but I haven't seen many stories written yet about the fact that we put the discharge up for unanimous consent on the floor tonight. The Republicans, the Speaker, and the Republicans asked for unanimous consent to just go ahead and pass the discharge because I think it's a moot point. The Democrats objected to the unanimous consent.
So I wanted to illustrate this because these are some of the games that they'll play in the political corner. So Mike Johnson's like, "Hey guys, we want to do this Epstein thing. We did unanimous consent. Why don't the Democrats want to do that? They're the blockers," right? So essentially what the strategy is if you do a unanimous consent kind of thing, then you wouldn't record votes by individual members of Congress, right? Because essentially these people, Republicans, don't want to go on the record on this kind of thing. That's why they wanted to vote that way. Karen Levitt, this is from Trump. "Cost and inflation were far higher under Sleepy Joe Biden administration, and they are now. In fact, costs are under the Trump administration are tumbling down." That's according to Trump. He says all your costs are going down, helped greatly by gasoline and energy. "Affordability is a lie when used by the Dems." Okay. "It is a complete con job. Affordability is a lie, according to Trump." Okay. "Thanksgiving costs are 25% lower this year than last." Okay. And then we are under, under the party of affordability. Oh, okay. So now Trump's saying they're the party of affordability when they're putting tariffs on you. Fox then is now running these stories because Trump wants to send the DOJ. I guess we're now investigating Clinton, JP Morgan, Larry Summers, etc. But then he also called this thing a hoax. So it's strange. Like a lot of the stuff they say doesn't make sense. It's on a daily basis. So that's what's going on in the Donald Trump clown show today. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you all in the next video.